Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, Celtic begin their season in terms of competitive matches on Tuesday night with the first leg of the Champions League second qualifying round against the Danish league runners-up FC Midtjylland. Now, David joins me, and we've also got a bit of Danish expertise. You can see him there grinning with his Midtjylland shirt on. We welcome to 67 Hail Jakob Nørgaard, journalist, Midtjylland fan, and he also hosts the Midtjylland podcast, Sort Snack podcast. He's also on holiday in France at the moment. He's been good enough to give us some of his time. Jakob, how are you doing?
Fine, I'm good, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Very good here in southern France. It's nice weather and looking forward to the fixture tomorrow.
I'm not jealous at all. I'm not jealous.
No, me neither.
It's sunny here in Scotland, so we're all good. Is it fair to say Midtjylland are in a little bit of turmoil at the moment? Your main striker, Sorry Kaba, is it too late to say sorry? Well, possibly. Yeah. Sorry, I had to get that one in. He's been left out after refusing to play, reportedly. Added to that, possibly your best central midfielder, Jens Kajusta, who was playing at the Euros for Sweden. I quite like the look of him. He missed the weekend game in anticipation of a transfer away. So it seems like you're in a bit of a kind of strange situation at the moment.
It is fair to say, and we're in a transition at the moment with lots of players going out and some players coming in, and we don't know how the squad will look like in 1 month from now. But it is certain that most and some of the key players from last 2 seasons are gone. Frank Onyeka, our defensive midfielder, who has been a very important piece of the puzzle, is leaving. You mentioned Sorry Kaba, who has had a lot of goals and a lot of assists. He is in a bad state at the moment with the coach and trying to get out of here. And we lost a very good defender in Alexander Scholz, and we've brought in a new coach. So yeah, to sum it up, it's a turmoil and it's a transition phase. So I'm quite curious to see how it turns out against a team like Celtic.
David, have we found the only team in Europe that's in more turmoil than ourselves?
I mean, I don't know about the turmoil we are supposed to be in, really. I would say there's 2 particular areas of the squad we had to strengthen that we didn't. Right back and centre back. I know we've made attempts, but it looks like we've failed to do it. Outside of that, I wouldn't say we're in turmoil as sorts. I think that there definitely needs to be tweaks to the squad, but you look over at Midtjylland and it's such an interesting sort of series of events over there. It looked as though pre-season started off quite well for them. They had quite an impressive win in Malmo, and it seemed as if they started off their training camp in Poland pretty positively. But it just looks as if some things have taken a wee downward turn for them over the last maybe 10 days or so. What I would ask is, what is Bo Henriksen like as a manager? Because he is so unknown in Scottish football. I would be surprised if many Celtic fans at all had heard of him before the tie had been drawn. So what could you tell us about Henriksen, how he likes his teams to play? Because it's just a total unknown for us over here.
Well, Bo Henriksen is known for being a motivational coach who takes lower end teams to overachieve in their results, and he has been very good at that and has achieved a lot in that way. He is he's very what do you say? He speaks his mind every time, and he's very free of. He says what he thinks, and I think that's a strength for him. I think also some people underestimate his tactical knowledge. I know he has some, but he has a defensive mindset first of all, I guess, and I know he has brought in an assistant coach to help him with the offensive style of play, because that's what the popular opinion of him is, that he lacks a bit in the offensive way. So he is brought in to give motivational speaks, to get the players going, to get the culture up, back and running in FC Midtjylland. I do believe that he will have success on that, but it's interesting to see how much time he needs to build it up, because we need to win now. It's the Champions League, it's our European ambitions which are in line here. So yeah. I don't know if that sums it up.
How's the other thing I quite like to know is how's the reaction been to Henriksen's appointment in Denmark? Because over here, obviously we've appointed Ange Postecoglou as our new manager, and I think a lot of our supporters feel the reaction from the media has been fairly negative. How have the Danish media been reacting to Henriksen's appointment?
I guess you could say it's been the mixed thing. Well, some people have been surprised, including myself. I would think that they would have gone for somebody who has been more proven on this level, because some people see it as not a step down, but not a step up either. So so maybe somebody has been saying that it was a bit unambitious to take him in, since he has never coached a top tier team in Denmark. So it's been, but you know, he has a very good what's it called, a record of having some very good results here and there. So we'll have to wait and see how he figures it out with a top tier team. But it's been mixed as well.
That's brilliant. See, Hamish, that's the thing. I think, you know, everyone's talking about the turmoil Celtic are going through and all these problems we have, these teething issues. It looks as though Midtjylland appear to be on the same kind of track at the minute, as similar as you could probably get. So I think it's going to be a good battle. I think it's going to be two teams who are very early in their development process with their new managers. I don't think either side should be judged based on that game or this tie alone. So I think it's really up in the air, but I do not understand those that have us written off.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Jakob, where the expectations are for Midtjylland in terms of the Champions League. We are very much, you know, get through this tie and you've assured yourself Europa League group stage football. But if we're realistic, PSV, Galatasaray, probably either of them will probably be too much for us. Now, I might get slagged off on the channel for saying that, but that's I think a realistic. That's where a lot of Celtic fans kind of sit at the moment. I assume it's quite similar with Midtjylland. It's very much this tie is winnable, but getting to the group stage of the Champions League is quite a different task.
I don't believe that many fans actually have realistic hopes that we're going to get into the Champions League group stages this year as well. Everybody knows that we have been building up a team for the last 2 years who were very good together, who had played a lot of matches together. And now, since we're in a transition and we don't have a very good seeding, you mentioned Galatasaray and PSV, if we can even beat Celtic. So I think the realistic expectations is that we could go to the Europa League group stages as well. But we have to perform better than we did last Friday in the league match, or else we won't be going anywhere. So yeah, it's tough to say. But my expectations is not that we're going to the Champions League. Of course, I would be delighted if we did, but it's not I don't think that's realistic. But I don't know about the match against Celtic. I don't watch a lot of Scottish football, to be honest. But it seems like, from what you guys are telling me and from what I'm hearing, is that you're in the same state as we are. So maybe it's a 50-50. Maybe you guys are better. Maybe you aren't. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that the interesting thing for me will be that the away goal rule has been removed. So I hope that we will see two more open matches because of this. Or else I could very likely see two defensive stands and just wait for the other guys to make mistakes, because we have been making mistakes this last Friday, so there would be opportunities for you guys at least. I haven't seen any Celtics of those games that you guys have played, so I don't know. That's my expectations and that.
Yeah, mission. I mean, it could work both ways, because you mentioned a minute ago that your manager can be quite defensive, or certainly focuses on the defence first. So when you've not got the added advantage of a goal, virtually meaning two, away from home in Glasgow, you could come and 0-0 is suddenly a good result for the away team, whereas in the previous world where away goals were a thing, 0-0 was a good result for the home team. So it could change the dynamics of the match. In terms of players we should be looking out for, there's a centre-back that we obviously know quite well. We'll chat about him first. How has Eric Sviatchenko done in his second spell with Midtjylland?
Well, he has had a very good run these last few years. He has stayed away from injuries, which is the main part that screwed him over in the beginning of his career, also in the Celtics, as I believe. So he's been very consistent. He looks strong. He's even gotten faster as I see it. So he's been one of the best players that we have had in the last 2 years, and a defensive anchor. He lost his buddy in the defense with Alexander Scholz, but he gained another buddy in Daniel Høgh. But they have to start cooperating on a base of every day and every game together. But Erik is the main part of that defense. So he's been very good for us.
David, we're going through the Invincibles. We had Scott Sinclair on Saturday.
I know.
Erik Sviatchenko on Tuesday. I think we've got Gary Mackay-Steven and Craig Gordon coming up for Hearts in a couple of weeks. So is it going to be strange playing a competitive match against someone like Erik Sviatchenko, who was quite liked at Celtic Park?
Yeah, I would say so. I always admired him as a centre-back. I couldn't understand why he was dropped and ousted by Brendan Rodgers personally. I thought he was playing quite well in the 2016-17 campaign. He'll be an issue that we'll have to deal with in this tie. He is likely going to be one of Midtjylland's standout players. But you look elsewhere in the Midtjylland team, and there's a couple of questions I'd be interested in. Obviously, Sori Kaba. Jacob's he definitely out on Tuesday night, or is there a chance he could play? And if he is out, judging by the squad on Friday against OB, it looks as if Midtjylland played Junior Bramado, who appears to have around 3 goals in 41 games. Is that not maybe a concern for Midtjylland that that's Kaba's direct replacement?
Well, I can't say anything for sure. Maybe they will bring him in back, but there are some transfer rumors going on, and I know that there is some speculation if he has been benched due to wanted to get out. And I believe that when a new coach arrives, like Bo has arrived as a coach, he wanted to invest in the guys that he knows is going to play for him the next season. If there is another striker coming, I don't know. We'll see in a month or so. But Junior Bramado would be my best guess to start at the top striker.
And how do you sort of feel about his goal return for Midtjylland? Because it doesn't seem to be an out-and-out goal scorer.
No, he's unproven for now. He's a very good training player. I know he's good at training. He has performed well in some matches. We saw it against FC Copenhagen, our rivals in Denmark last season, where he had a very, very good game. And then you will see him fall out of all the games where he's not positioning very well, where he's missing chances and stuff like this. But when he hits his top level, he's a very good striker, and he's only 21, so he's young, and he has to learn, and he has to be more intelligent on the field. I think is the right term. So not quite. I don't trust him yet, but we'll see this season if we start to trust him.
Midtjylland were in the Champions League group stage last season. You got a couple of pretty good draws, one against Liverpool. Is this a far weaker team than the one from 12 months ago?
I think it is. There are some key players left. We have a good goalkeeper in Jonas Løssel. We have Erik Sviatchenko. We have good left and right backs in the defense. We have been forced to replace Alexander Scholz, which is a big loss. We have lost Frank Onyeka, who is at the moment trying to go to Brentford if the work permit from a Nigerian player goes through. So he's not playing as well. He has been a very good player for us. Sori Kaba is not there as well. So they have to rebuild, and they have to reestablish some of the key roles. And I guess that's the issue. But you guys have to keep in mind as well that we did not start, we did not end the season off on a good note, because we lost a lot of games. We had 2 of the last 7 games we won, and we should have won the championship, but it's amazing how we can just keep on losing. And now we have actually only won 2 games in the last 8 games since we lost on Friday as well. So we're not in a good state, but the team last year was better than the team at the moment is. Maybe in 1 year or so we'll have just as good a team, but there are some new faces, there are some new things that we have to take charge of, and it'll take time.
David, have Jakob's comments changed your perception on the tie at all?
I felt like I had a fair understanding of where Midtjylland were in terms of what I'd read up on them in recent weeks. I think Jakob paints a really sort of realistic picture for the tie. I think it's going to be tight. I can't particularly pick a winner. If I'm putting my unbiased cap on, it's going to be so tight because both clubs just appear to be in this state of transition, where we're both nowhere near where we want to be. It's just so early, these games into the season, that you can never really predict what's going to happen. So for me, my only concerns are our failures to strengthen at right back and centre back. I think that's a massive issue that we haven't addressed, and I think we might find that out, because I know that some of Midtjylland's strongest threats are down the wide areas. Looking at Seastow, for example. It could cause us some real bother there. But it's anybody's guess. It's going to be a good tie. It's a good game. I think when the tie was initially drawn out, I think that was the general reaction. Over here, it was 50-50. What was the reaction in Denmark to the draw, Jakob? Was it one of real confidence? Because obviously we had a turgid season last year, and our European form was really poor as well. How were Celtic viewed as a tie in Denmark?
I don't think a lot of people would have hoped for Celtic, but I as I recall it, there were other more different. I can't really remember who else we could have.
I think PSV were one.
Yeah. So it was kind of in the middle. I know that a lot of people, including myself, has the struggles against Rangers. I know that you guys don't want to talk about those guys, but we got hammered by them. Was it 2 seasons ago? Had a very difficult time there at their home field. So if you guys are as good as they were 2 years ago, I'm very concerned. But it's so difficult, and as you said, David, we don't know anything in the beginning of the season, and these qualifying games are so weird when we don't have an established team yet. So that's the same that goes for you guys. So I think that at least we're happy that you guys are not up and running and just ready to go, because if you are not in a transition as well, then I don't think we would have had much of a chance.
Well, let the best team win. David, you just said it's impossible to predict, so I'm going to ask both of you who you think is going to go through. David, who's going to go through?
Well, I'm going to say Celtic, aren't I? I mean, could you imagine the stick if I said Midtjylland? I'm going to go for us to grind it out. It won't be convincing. I think it's going to be a real grind, a real battle for whoever goes through. But of course, I need to back Postecoglou and the boys to get into the next one. I think it'll be narrow. I'll go for a 1-goal margin. Right,
Jakob.
That sounds fair to me, but of course I will go with FC Midtjylland. My guess would be that we have a 1-1 result on the first game, and maybe Midtjylland makes it 2-1 at home. So 3-2 aggregate. I don't know. That's my guess.
Well, I hope one of you is right, put it that way, but we'll see how it goes. Jakob, it's been a pleasure to have you on. We'll maybe speak again depending on how things go, but thank you very much, and thanks everyone for watching. Jakob. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe, like the video, and we'll speak to you again very soon.